Once again, I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and to some of you, good night, depending on your time zone. And of course, as you already know, I am George Onibe from the Uncompleted Building. You know, it makes some people happy. As always, we are working very hard to help you engage your mind usefully so that you can be useful to yourself and be useful to everybody around you. And so one way or the other, we will point you to the right direction. But we understand that there is a difference between knowing the path and walking the path. But then let's do our duty and allow you to do yours. It's about Nigerian progress, about Nigerian unity. It's about how we can be able to leave behind, secure a safe future for the next generations of Nigeria, and so they will be happy. We have walked this earth more than 5 decades, and there are very little anybody will tell us after 5 decades. In other words, we have the ability to compare and to contrast the good and the bad, the ups and downs, the negative and the positive, all the energies around us. We can actually tell you how it all began and how it will end. And this is not because we are perfect or more perfect than anybody, because we strategically position ourselves in that angle where we can be able to give true narrative of events as they unfold. As we speak, look at your date on this very day. You will discover that we have 2 major issues trending, and all of them has its embodiment. Number 1, the saga of Donald Trump, who want to designate Nigeria. But let's look into it briefly. Yes, terrorists are in Nigeria, but these terrorists, Donald Trump would have better said they are fighting terrorists, and everybody would have appreciated it, because this is one undeniable fact. There are terrorists everywhere in Nigeria. This has become the instrument of the undoing and the very making of your politicians. Anybody want to get to power, they hyper-terrorism. And when they get to power, to remove them, you hyper-terrorism. But no, Donald Trump is not coming to fight terrorism. He wants to enter through back door. But of course, Christians are people of emotion. The Christian or the Christian, invariably we know that body language. And so other Americans should tell Donald Trump when he's coming, let him come on plain terms. And then we can be able to understand his position so that when he begins to lose guard, we can call him to order. So as far as Nigeria is concerned, there are religious crises. The level of religious tolerance in Nigeria is only respected by Yoruba people. When you talk about the issue of religion tolerance, out of the Wazobia, it is only Yoruba that respects other religion. And of course, you can see it in their way of life. This is not to hyper them. The average Igbo man may not hate Muslim, but it's not something they subscribe to easily. Most especially when there is business involved, they can subscribe. And of course, the Hausa on the other hand don't like Christians, and they don't subscribe to it easily, except they have encounter, or maybe they're going to spend some days in the Christian environment, and so they can begin to answer Moses, Abraham, just to blend in. It is the only Yoruba in this instance who in the same house, the father can be Muslim, the mother is a Christian, and then their children are pagan. Because they have a value that supersedes this mentality. And so anybody coming to tell us, Christians are fighting Muslims, we have been fighting from the Bible. All of us have been fighting this fight from the Bible. Donald Trump, that is not the problem of Nigeria. The problem of Nigeria is terrorism. Come and fight them. Ironically, this is the same charge Nnamdi Kanu is facing. It's the same reason why Finland have to keep Simon Ekpa where he is now. And so when we have problem, it is important we address that problem sincerely so that we can all progress. And now this having been said, today we are waiting for Nnamdi Kanu to open his defense. All his delay tactics now look like he will hit a brick wall. Remember, he asked for 90 days. We're not going to talk much about that until the end of the day. He wanted 90 days to open defense, which was denied. And then later on, he started blabbing up and down. And if at the end he did not open his defense, we know how it's going to be. It's going to be 2 ways. It's either he will hand over the rope that they will use to put him on the gallows, or it will give room for political solution. But let's not see it. We are waiting for the update. You that is innocent, you that is your right to self-determination, you that have the right to do everything, Osetiana. But of course, some of these things are happening today. Draw it back to the Nigerian as you see today. If you look at Nigeria, the leaders come with genuine vision, the sincerity and desire to build our country. But look at it. Once you are done after your 8 years, your predecessor will spend his next 8 years to destroy everything you have worked. There is no consolidation. Nobody trying to build another person's legacy because of ego. That same mentality that wants you to claim me that I must be Igbo. I'm coming. I'm just trying to highlight what we are going through. So it's not about the message today, but it's about you being able to reason holistically and beyond the horizon. And now let's look at it. Good luck, Yaradua was there. I want to believe Yaradua has good plan, agenda for Nigerians, but he did not live to complete it. And some of the things that Yaradua did that made us love Yaradua, let's believe somewhere along the line, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan wanted to follow that path. But for some reason, it's, trampling on some people's ego. The same thing they want to use Donald Trump to do today. That is how they call the whole world. Come, oh, Goodluck is sponsoring terrorism, oh, Goodluck do this one, oh. And so Goodluck abandoned the agenda, the election manifesto of Yaradua. He don't even have his own. So he played a game of political appeasement for a very long time. And now Goodluck is out. Buhari came in. Everything Goodluck did, he destroyed it. Because at that moment, they are the one who tells their story. It is their story that they want to tell, not another person's story. And then Buhari is gone. Everything Buhari refused to do, everything Buhari did, Tinubu is doing and undoing them. And believe me, if we are not smart enough, when Tinubu is gone, everything he's doing today, others will undo him and do him. But look at why they are doing all these things, keeping Nigerians in perpetual poverty, suffering, and making our life miserable. It is simple. Their personal ego, their personal interest. Let me digress a little bit so that you understand. If somebody was born in the year 2000, and the person in that year 2000 graduated from the university, become an NGO, a CEO, or whatever, and let's assume as a governor, you now build a university. There is a reason you want the people to be educated. And then let's look at 2 years later, you are no more. And then another governor comes in or another president comes in. What are they supposed to do? Consolidate. They are supposed to say, okay, this our brother, this was his target. He loved education. He wanted the people to be educated. Begin to build on it. You have something to offer uniquely from the previous person. Introduce your own. By now, check the countless leaders we have had. There is areas of life these people love more. They wanted to touch more. I should say they are areas of expertise. But because their predecessors did not see beyond their personal interests, good achievement, should I say greediness, they continually abandon. It's one of the major problems of Nigeria. But why is it so? Because we have created an atmosphere where somebody has to be more original than another person, where somebody has to sit on the glory of other people to shine. I have so many friends like that before now, until I discover they don't care for you. All they want is to use you to shine, nothing more. Look at your state. Check 4 governors before your immediate governor. Check if your immediate governor is carrying out any of their project. Instead of them to continue what is known as continuity, they will destroy it and retard it. Today, we are singing of mechanized agriculture. During Alhaji Shehu Shagari time, we have been hearing the chorus of mechanized agriculture. Sometimes the federal government took land from communities. ADP, most of you should know it. Under the state, under the federal government, they took land, all in the name of mechanized agriculture. So what happened to the mechanized agriculture of Alhaji Shehu Shagari? What happened to the mechanized agriculture of Olusegun Obasanjo? What happened to the agricultural mechanization of all these people, Ibrahim Babangida, all of them? What happened to the agricultural mechanization of Muhammadu Buhari? But now they are going to hyper it. Oh, mechanizing or mechanizing. It's a lie. Even though Tinubu mechanized agriculture, when he is gone, another person will mechanize it. And now this is where our topic comes in this morning. If you don't customize your cultural heritage, you will be assimilated. It is only customizing your cultural heritage that will keep people alive. And now the major problem we are having, most especially we from the South, we from Edo and Delta, we from the old Midwestern region, we from Bender State. It is a cake up to divide. They have not seen how to divide it all this while. And finally, maybe Tinubu will help them to divide us. Now, let me go back a little bit. All of a sudden, while we are talking about restructure, some of these issues appear. And sometimes we begin to wonder, do they go behind closed door and negotiate the future of the next generation of our people? Yes, like every other president, they want to create more states. But if you want to take Delta State and give to Anambra State, or you want to take Edo State and give to Ondo State, or you want to take Ateti State and give to Hausa people, go and change the geographical zone. And then it begins to make sense. And after changing the 6 political or geographical zone we have, you can begin to haggle us, butcher us, sell us as you like. But no, this is where God will always catch them. They are not interested. It's just to divide us. It's just to finish us. And this will ultimately end in the complete assimilation of our people. We don't want this. Now, in case you are not paying attention, we have had the history of Nigerian Biafra war. It's not over. It's just that the pattern, the method of fighting the war has changed. We were there within Nnamdi Kanu shouting, give us Biafra, give us Biafra. It was all about all-inclusiveness. It was all about addressing the issue of political imbalance. It was all about restructure. It was all about equity. Should I say fairness, transparency, and justice? But sooner than later, we discover that these people are on a mission of conquest. They need the sacrifice of land and water. And this ultimately will make us disappear. And now, it's so obvious. Watch Senator Ned Nwoko body language. A man who cannot keep his family together is coming to put me where I will be fine. It's uncalled for. Sometimes we need to begin to look at the family of those who are our leaders, those who we are looking up to give us the life we desire. It's very important. And now, without consulting, without respect or regard for his people, he is everywhere jumping and telling you who is Igbo, who is not Igbo. And it shocked me to listen to this man addressing the global community that we were forced to deny that we are Igbo so that we can survive. I do not know about Ned Nwoko village, but honestly, I was born and brought up in Agbo. I left when I was able to fend for myself. Because ordinarily, as a first son, even as a last born, there is a stage you get to. You have to move on. Even though your father is a millionaire, the highest thing they do is they give you your own apartment because you have to start your own life. So I left home when I was a grown-up man, ready to be a father. And now, I have never heard or come across any Igbo person, not to talk of Okwane person, who will tell you that we are denying our Igbo-ness so that we can survive in Nigeria. Did the Igbo people not survive in Nigeria? So if Nigeria has been so cruel and so wicked to Igbo people, no Igbo person will survive today. The atmosphere for you to grow and thrive and become prosperous across every community in Nigeria was because nobody hate you. But you change the narratives and come in. And so Senator Ned Nwoko is telling you now that we have to deny our Igbo so that we can survive in Nigeria. But those of you who are considered as of Igbo group, be sincere, are we more prosperous than the Igbo people? So the people who embrace their Igbo-ness is still surviving in Nigeria more than we that deny Igbo-ness so that we survive. But these are the stories they tell. I know you are not getting it, but don't worry. These things are fallacies. They are blatant lies. There was never a time. People would have done that during the war because of pressure. Because we were not speaking out, so you don't even know who is who. Today, if I go to the north, even some Yoruba call me Igbo. And when I will send thunder for all of them, it will be on another page. And so if a Yoruba person that have been in the Southern Protectorate with before the creation of the Midwestern region, the Yoruba people that have been with, even in the old Western region, will tell me I'm an Igbo man. Something is not right. Issue that need to be addressed in order to prevent us from completely being assimilated. I'm coming because we want to solve Nigerian problem. We have to go to how it all began. And so at the end of the day, you that Nigeria say they want to destroy you. You are prospering more than everybody individually. Now, coming back to the issue of how all these things started. During that war, the Hausa man don't know the Igbo man, they don't know the Ikure man, they don't know the Abo man. All of us till tomorrow morning are considered in Nyamere, and that is one thing we want to let them know. If we are not in Nyamere, we are not in Nyamere, and I'm certainly not in Nyamere, and I stick by that. And so because of the errors of Asaba massacre, in one of my broadcasts I have told you what brought about Asaba massacre. Because of you being endangered, because it is a war, no time to explain, you have to embrace one Nigeria, and then you will not look like a threat to the Nigerian Defense Force. But considering that we are in a war situation, anything goes. But after the war, everybody have their life back. Everybody was a kind of reincorporated into the system. The issue of, how do you call it, integration became a project. But one clearly told Nigeria, it is a war of no victor, no vanquished. Nobody won. I listened to Gowon in one of those broadcasts. He said those who fought Nigeria Biafra war were not given any medal. Because he just cannot imagine somebody carrying a medal because he killed a fellow Nigerian. To those people who made that sacrifice, outside the Armed Forces Remembering Day, there is no compensation for those people who put all their life on the line to save us. But I'm coming. And so Senator Ned Nwoko was telling them that we say we are not Igbo, and that is why. I am proud to tell you that I'm Igbo man. It's just that with what you are seeing, we have to call the spade a spade. Everybody must answer his father's name. Igbo don't need me to survive. Igbo don't need me to shine. Igbo don't need me to be the most intelligent. Igbo don't need me to help them. But certainly as an Agbo man need my voice more than Igbo man. Agbo man need my representative more than Igbo man. And ironically, Igbo man will not speak for Agbo people. Check this internet. Show me one video of Igbo man praising Agbo people. Never. The only thing you see them do is Abo is a show, Abo is a low show, Abo is taking drugs, Abo is a poor people, Abo are mad people, Abo is this one. Just check the internet. And when they are telling you I was in Biafra, I'm waiting for them to give me so that I can give them back to back. I sang their praise. I thought about them very well. I held them in high esteem. I thought these Igbo Biafra people have sense. I thought they meant well for everybody. But whoa, it's very difficult to wipe away the mark of the tiger. I think that is what we are seeing. And that is the position we have found ourselves. And so, along the line, when they are distorting the history on every search engine, we need to counter them. We need to follow them one after the other. And now this is not about Anyoma people. But why was Nnedi Nwoko lying? He could not tell them the truth. Because if Ikwere man tells you he's not an Igbo, this is the reason. In the old Eastern region, some part of Bayelsa was part of old Eastern region. River State, Akwa Ibom State, Cross River State. They were all part of the old Eastern region, inclusive the current day 5 states in the southeast. Now, majorly they were supposed to be Anambra, Enugu, Abia, and Imo State, if I'm not mistaken. About 4 of them in the old Eastern region. Watch all of them, and River State. Watch all of them. All of them were controlled by Igbo people. And when the issue of Biafra came, the other ethnic groups in the old Eastern regions were not carried along. And what happened at the end? When they discovered that the Nigerian they thought that they can dismiss in 24 hours, they were unable to destroy Nigeria. What did they do? They invited Captain Elechi Martin to represent Ikwere people. Of course, Obiwale was there. Then from the Ogoni, they invited Ken Saro-Wiwa. And then so many other dignitaries and asked them to come to Enugu, this issue of Biafra. And meanwhile, in the old Eastern region, these people had been calling for their own state, which was torn down. And that was just a privilege for them to get their life back. So 99.9% of all the ethnic groups who are not Igbo, the Bibio, the Efik, the Anang, and the rest of them, it was a privilege for them to disassociate from Biafra. They walked out on Ojukwu in that meeting. And so instead of me to say I'm Igbo and I'm not Igbo, why pretending? Similarity does not make it the truth. That is how most supposed sub-Igbo group in the old Eastern region turned against Igbo people. Some were so angry that they are no longer Nigeria today. They are now Cameroonian. They are still suffering in Cameroon. That is why when they say divide Nigeria, it's going to be on one consent that all of us agree. But if you are the one wanting to divide this our one Nigeria, come out, we are waiting for you. You are not dividing anything. But I know you are not getting why I'm telling you this story. And then you come to the Eastern region, the Midwestern region, Bende State. We were a region. We are not envying Yoruba, Western region. We are not jealous of Hausa, Northern region. Neither are we jealous of Igbo, Midwestern region. Nigeria, why did you destroy our region? But that is not the purpose of this broadcast. We were on our own. As lazy people we are, as weakling that we are weakling ourselves and we are okay with the weakling. And we don't have sense. We are okay with it. We are no show. We are happy. But they did not remove their eye from us till today. Their eye is still with us till today. And somebody tell you, hypocritically telling you they are solving Nigeria problem. On the expense of who? I'm coming, just be patient. And so we in the Midwestern region, it was simple. The Benin person never participated in Biafra. The Urobo Shekiri people never participated in Biafra. But the Anyoma people participated. That is when some people will tell you that we betrayed Bende State. But ironically, which of the Anyoma? It looked like maybe it's Nnedi Nwoko village. Because these people can easily be brainwashed. All these Nnedi Nwoko them people, they can easily be brainwashed by Igbo people. Maybe because they are closer to Igbo people. That is how they brainwash Chukwuma Nzogo. That is how they brainwash Achuse. Look at all of them. Obuni Ibonyi Anyoma. Look at all of them. Betrayed all of them. They used them. And now, ask Nnedi Nwoko. If we were denying our Igbo-ness, who were the fierce soldiers that fought for Biafra? Was it Igbo people? Igbo people were right there in their territory, fighting a defensive war, eating chieftaincy title, claiming the whole glory. But the people who were holding the line of defense were 99.9% Anyoma people. When they want to tell you this true story of Asaba massacre, Isiago massacre, some of you see all this Igbo Biafra, you will disassociate yourself from them. Because they are the one under the umbrella of the Indi Igbo trying to repeat the same problem. And if we keep quiet, they will take us unaware. And now, hold on. It is obvious in time past We have supported the Igbo people more than we support the Yoruba, Hausa, or any other tribe. How could we be afraid identifying with them? When you hear Biafra was Biafra, it's not Igbo people pulling that shot. It is South people. Did you see them respect anybody? All of us from the South that followed them to do this Biafra, all of us are Sabo. George Enyimbe is Sabo. Asari Dokoboy is Sabo. All of us from the South that followed them, all of us are Sabo. Tomorrow they will tell you, oh, we are afraid of Nigeria. That is why we don't want to identify with Biafra. Now I'm afraid of Nigeria. That is why I say I'm not Igbo. And this is what brought us to this topic of discussion today. Having tried to create scenario so that you understand our position. Look at this cap once again. It's not Igbo cap. It is Sabo cap. But I will not lay claim on it. But it is part of our cultural attire. The Hausa people wear this cap. The Benin people wear this cap. Igbo people wear this cap. And many other ethnic groups from Ikwere, all of them, many people in and out of Nigeria use this cap. And so if I come and lay claim that it belongs to Abo people, I may be lying. Because it's obvious we don't know the oldest tribes in Nigeria anymore because of the presence of Wazobia. And so you can't tell me this cap is Igbo cap. No, say Igbo people use it. Because some of you will say, I wear Igbo cap. And now, if you see the shirt I'm wearing, it is Akwacha. And you can see how I dress. It is the way we dress as a Nyoma man. Forget about my color combination. I only just want to put you through. And so ordinarily, if we have customized our culture and tradition, you are supposed to know that I'm Abo man without me saying. When an Igbo man dress, you know Igbo man. When you see Yoruba dress, you know it's Yoruba. When you see Hausa dress, you know it's Hausa. But unfortunately, you suppose minority. You are crying, they are calling you minority. But what will make them to recognize you? You are neglecting it. That is the main purpose of this broadcast. We have to customize our culture and tradition in diverse way and through diverse means to prevent us from being assimilated. And if I come out with this stress or I want to show my saga, you will love how I look. And anybody can lay claim to it. But we didn't customize it. We only knew in our territory that this is how we dress. But today, it looks like we are discussing about the issue of identity crisis. Don't make any mistake about that. There is no issue of identity crisis. And you see most of those information out there about who you are, I could say that 70% of them are error. Written by emotion and manipulation. Normally, our cultures and traditions are handed over to us orally. And before you are the age of 12 to 17, you already know everything you need to know. And so finally, having said all this, let's go to customizing culture and tradition. If you don't want them to assimilate you, these are the things you should do. Number one, begin to sing your community music, your traditional music. Very important. If you see Yoruba, in those days we used to hear Ebenezer. We used to hear people like Sonny Ade. And then as the world began to advance, we begin to hear people like Shino Peters. We have people like Barrister. But you see all these musicians I mentioned, all of them were coming from different dispensations. It was in the era of Shino Peters that Yoruba music, I would say, was westernized. And of course, we are not talking about Afrobeat now, because I cannot tell you Afrobeat is Yoruba music. But a Yoruba man found Afrobeat, fella. And Afrobeat, as far as I can tell, has become African beat. He didn't say it's a Yoruba beat. And so even though Yoruba man is the pioneer, the founder of Afrobeat, I will not say it's a Yoruba song. Because it was not customized for Yoruba culture and tradition. It was customized for African vibes. So let's leave fella out of this. He's a legend on his own. But today, you learn about so many Yoruba musicians. People like Davido. People like Dibanchi. So numerous to mention. But there is something about them. They try to blend with the trending word. But when they sing and sing and sing, they add Yoruba. That is customizing. And I've seen the video sing. He say, Omo Baba mi Olowo, or something like that. He's customizing it. And because he customized it, he's proud to showcase who he is. He adds something that will make you know it's Yoruba. I'm talking about in the musical industry. And finally, almost 70% of all Nigerian musicians, once they sing, whether for real, whether for whatever reason, they will add Yoruba. Oluwa is involved, often used by Nigerian musicians. But by the time you mention Oluwa is involved, my dear, Yoruba customizing their product, their cultural heritage is being even promoted by you subconsciously. But am I telling you not to do that? Please do that, because good market sell itself. And then you come back to the East, you have numerous musicians. You have people like Osadebe, Oliver De Coco. In the era of Shino Peters, That was the same era of Oliver de Coco. They were able to modernize their cultural heritage into the modern world. They westernized it. You need to see Oliver de Coco. It was something else. And so many numerous Igbo musicians that, are we talking about, what do they call the man? The name just escaped me. So many Igbo musicians. As a child, my father plays all of them. And I know Hausa musicians, we not heard about them, but they have their own music. Because they are secluding themselves from this social present. We can see some of their music. Since nobody is customizing, or rather nobody is promoting them, we leave them like that. But they are waking up. Because most of their music, they play it. But they enjoy it. That is their own. Let them keep it. And then you can begin to talk about musical instruments. You have Ekwe. The Igbos use it. You have the talking drum. The Yoruba use it. You have the Calabar guitar. The Hausa use it. And then I ask, were Abo people not singing music? Were Urobo people not singing music? Were Ikore people not singing music? All of them were there. But all these musicians from Sonny Okosu to Bongo Sikwe, all these musicians that runs across the supposed minority, they forgot to customize their product. It's still happening till today. This Bini boy, Abo boy, is it Rema they call him? It's Abo boy. But if you see them dragging him now, but it's left for Rema. If Rema like, let him become Igbo so that he get like on social media. If he like, let him become Yoruba, Hausa, Wolokomi. But somewhere along the line, you are being ratomatized, you are being deceived, hypnotized. You don't know the damage you are doing to yourself. If Rema was that famous, but you have to claim, say that somebody will love you. My dear, nobody is going to love you. Nobody is going to love you. Accept this truth. You see this life. Only two people will eagerly and sincerely allow you to be better than them. Only two people. And if you lose these two people, know that you are on your own. Do you know who they are? Your mother and your father. In fact, it's only your father that will be ready to step down for you to be better than them. That's others can wish you. But if wishes were bad, they will fly away. So if you are trying for anybody to love you, to validate you, my brother, forget about it. Customize your music. There are many musicians there. You want to do ambush every man. I know my name, I know the car you use. How do you come my limousine? When you dey rap, put abo, put your language, customize it. And then people will know you exist. Now you have the opportunity to present yourself before the global community. You remove your people. When you continue that way, you will be assimilated. Look at all the album musicians we know. Many of them are doing well, customizing. I know they are not making the sales, but please continue doing it. For market's sake, breakthrough, know the pattern, follow up, don't leave your people out. That is the only reason you cannot be assimilated. There are songs, evergreen old album song. You can't take it away from us. And ironically, people who sang those songs are not even educated. But you see, they customize it. They customize it. When no doesn't know, when no doesn't know, no longer you will not hear another tribe play that music. Only our people. And how much are we hypering it? You do party, you play another person music. Boy adike, Jada bunke, because that is what is causing all this assimilation. Whether you like it or not, they are taking away your personality. Your cultural heritage is being assassinated, eliminated. You are gone. Number two, you see dressing. That is why I have to dress like this. You live by example. Normally, I wear my Ugwaja cloth and move on. But I want you to know we have not lost our mind. When you want to dress, customize it. Let people know. If you go to Benue State, they have this cloth with white and black line. And they have another cloth with black and red line. One of them belongs to Iduma, one of them belongs to TV. And so once we see that cloth, we know these people are from Benue. Somebody customized it. You cannot hide them in the crowd. You can emulate them, but you can't hide them in the crowd. Customize your cultural heritage. That is the only thing that will prevent you from being assimilated. Today, all over Nigeria, some people are dragging Ashibi, Ashioke. Who owns it? Who owns it? If you like, do all the party in the whole world. Once you put Ashebi, you are promoting Yoruba culture. And why is it so? Because Yoruba people customize it. Today, once you see Isiago, it belongs to Igbo people. Undoubtedly, they adapted it, they customize it. If you like, hate them. If you like them, it's their own. Baba Rega belongs to Hausa. And why we ignore it, as I just like this now, we dey come. We now do meeting. Come out as Anyoma people, come out as Ndokwa people, come out as Assimilation people. People will love it. They will begin to customize it. They will claim it from us because you are not there. Tomorrow we blame them. But what are we doing to ourselves? The way you dress has a lot to speak. Recently, I was going into the way our fathers dress about 100 years ago. If you see their picture, you will not believe these Aika people, and that is how we dress. You will think it's somewhere Zambia, Gambia, Mulumba, all those far African countries you have not been to. But that was who we are. Until we are now being modernized. Customize your culture and tradition. Without that, you will disappear. Look at all those musicians. Look at all those people of the past. What do they leave behind? Nothing. They disappear. They disappear. How could somebody know you existed when they don't know where you come from? You become anonymous. You are nobody. And you will be easily assimilated. Understand that the French policy of association and assimilation has not done any good for any Francophone country. That is why when Donald Trump is bringing that body language, we say leave us alone. Because we are yet to see any country in the world benefiting from any world power, other than that we are your market square. China, Japan, Russia, Italy, all of you, Europe, all of you, India, suppose world power. None of you have left any African country, except we are your market square. Let's not make any mistake about that. And then let's continue. Remember, I talk about your music. It goes way, 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 way beyond what you see, even the musical instruments. Remember, we have talked about your culture, your dressing. It goes way, way beyond what you put, even the ornament. What are their names? What is their coupe? And then we look at the food. Today, on social media, in fact, there is a place I visited, very far from the West. And then I said I needed to eat something different from what I'm seeing. I said, where can I get good food? They showed me one remote village. And I went there. When I got there, if you see the queue of people there, I was like, what is going on here? You know what they were selling? Ewedu and amala. If you see Aaron, if you see Shaki, I say, so Yoruba don't get sense rich like this. A remote village in the east. Everybody was trooping. They even booked order down. No wonder amala is sold in America, sold everywhere proudly. They customize their food. If you like, call it ofe mano. They customize it. They love it. You hear about a dikaiko. Somebody customize it. You hear about what do you call it? So many soup. When you just hear the name, you know somebody customize it. You hear of Ofako. Who even own Ofako? Well, Igbo people have Nkobi. But believe me, Igbo people are not the owner of Ofako. But maybe they still have Ofako anyway. But there are people like Urobo people, Shekiri people. Banga soup is what they call it, not Ofako. But you didn't customize it. They will take it from you. And those of you from Abo, you know how many soup we are losing? Ofujuju, Ofe Kaka, Ofo Yuma, Ofe Elurushin, Ofo Nonabon. How many of our children can make this soup again? And somebody will discover it later on. Because we as a people don't eat for eating sake. 90% of the food we eat as Abo people are medicinal on their own. They are medicinal, not soup, so it entice you. They are the own embodiment of health benefits. Where are they? Where is the Abo restaurant? Where is the Anyoma restaurant? At least I also maintain their food at the Nunu. Yoruba maintain their Ewedu and Amala. At least Igbo maintain their what do you call it? The Ankobi. If you have Fikanana, their ID icon, they don't play with it. But where is our own? If you neglect all these things, you will be assimilated. And when you are assimilated, you have helped and aid them to perfect the cultural genocide that is ongoing in Nigeria. Don't make any mistake about that. And so, my fellow supposed sub Igbo group, wherever you run across, don't let Igbo Biafra to assimilate you. Their intentions are evil. Their intentions are cruel. Their intention is the complete destruction of our people. Don't let them have their way. Let them be saying what they are saying. Let us be doing what we are doing. Because somebody who has the mindset to inherit you will not want you to live long. Anybody who has the mindset to inherit you will not allow you to live long. I see some children as we were growing up. Some of them are waiting for their father to die. They were discussing, when my father die, could they ride that in car? When my father die, now this in house I go use. You see, subconsciously, they are wishing their parents dead so they can eat the wealth. And so anybody who want to inherit your culture and tradition only wish you death. And if they assimilate you, you are gone. Is it not obvious they have a hidden agenda? What are we asking for? Give us a normal state. And there are people spending money already. They will soon come and tell me that I'm a non-completed building to assimilate me. And these things are made possible and they are succeeding simply because we have not customized our lifestyle. And so, fellow Anyoma people, you don't need to shy away from it. You don't need to allow them to bamboozle you, muzzle you into one corner to accept their lies. Look inside of you. You will see the truth. All of you from Ikwiri, Ekpeye, Omok, Wakaboka, all of you considered Sobibo group, from outdoor and across. Look closely. You know who you are. Look deep. You will see the truth about who you are. And if you are compromising that standard, let it be for a genuine reason. And this message would have been dedicated to my Abo people, my Anyoma people. But then there are a lot of ethnic groups in Nigeria who are facing the same challenges. I only encourage you to learn from them. If we all showcase what makes us better than another person, or rather, what makes us different from another person, maybe Nigerians, when they have credible leaders, can tap into the advantage of this unity in diversities. It's not something you come out and talk. It is something we do. I'm George Unibi, and I'm signing off from here. For those of you who will drop your insult, please drop it. We are coming. But don't forget, we are not just seeing it. We need to begin to work on it.